Craig and I are talking about maybe getting arrested on Cops, like that's our next career move.
Guys, I'm so excited to chat with you today. I watched the first episode of the show. It's so much fun. I'm so glad it's back. So coming off of last reunion, how are you both feeling about going into this season? Craig, I'll start with you.
Well, I'm happy that me and Madison made up. I think viewers will be surprised to see that. But that was, God, I wasn't in a great place. And it'll be fun for people to see how much we've grown since then, in a way, I guess.
Yeah. Shep, how about you?
I went into this season knowing that Taylor and I were going to be in now a year at the time, about a year-long relationship, and worrying about that, and then adding fuel to the fire and putting our relationship at risk. By the way, that was all me, and so I'm nervous headed into the season as far as it is airing is concerned.
Yeah, definitely. Craig, going back to Madison, how did the two of you get back on track?
We have conflicting stories, but mine is we were at a wedding. And she came up and jumped on my back and was like, "Can we stop hating each other now?" And I was like, "Of course, that's all I've been waiting for." But I also ran into her at a local restaurant and invited her to like the store opening, or she said, "When are you going to invite me?" or something like that. But, our fight had to do with other people. And we had been friends for a long time. And I think we were both bummed that friendship had fallen to the wayside. So we were both happy and ready to jump back into it.
Definitely. Shep, what kind of challenges will you and Taylor face this season?
I would say the season 7, we had just started dating, and it was basically a honeymoon season. And we were just sort of off in the corner, doing our own thing and like making each other laugh. And now she's like fully on the show and is a lot better friends with everybody. So she really blossoms. And so I just sort of, I don't know. It was just, I knew that people were talking about us because I understand how the show works. And so when you think that like you're the center of attention, you can react in a number of different ways. And sometimes I didn't navigate that all that well.
Yeah, no, I see, in the teaser, we see Auston, I think, talking to Taylor about sometimes the way that you talked to her. Can you kind of tease what that was about?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I can. I am an equal opportunity bastard sometimes. And I just, the way I was raised and the way my family is that we're very blunt and we can, and so, Austin's stipulation, and he's right. He's like, "Shep, I know that." And he's like, "I know how you feel about Taylor. That's no secret, but she is your girlfriend. And sometimes you can be very gruff, and that's not how you're supposed to. And then people outside don't understand that, and it can look really bad." And he's right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you get this question all the time, and I'm sure a lot of people are asking you all the time now that this relationship is a year plus, but do you see this as a forever relationship? Are you ready to take that next step?
I am trending in that direction. Let's put it that way. And we've actually started to talk about it, she and I. And I mean, we're both like nervous about the prospect for lots of different reasons, but I think that's natural.
Yeah, definitely. Craig, do you think that this is the forever relationship for Shep?
Yeah, I think if Shep was going to have a forever relationship, this is it.
Yeah, I don't think I can find anybody that can deal with me so wonderfully.
She actually likes Shep and loves him for who he really is, and there's no like trying to change him or anything. She loves Shep for who Shep is, and I think
gentle guidance and change is what she's done, and that's the best way to approach me.
Yeah, and fortunately, it's nice when you get along with your friends' girlfriends, and we love Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes Taylor more than me that I've introduced her to. So, I think that's the universe trying to tell me something.
Yeah, Taylor
definitely.
Around if you guys broke up.
And obviously, Craig, a big storyline this season is Naomie returning to the show. When you first heard that she was returning, what was your initial reaction? Were you excited? Were you a little nervous? What was kind of your mindset?
Well, she called me and asked. I was the first. I was actually kind of the guidance for that. So I thought that was really respectful and big of her. And she was like, "Look, this is your show, and it always, has been. Like, I appreciate you bringing me on in the beginning." I could really use this. And I was like, sure. Like, I thought it would be great for the show and for viewers to see. I think I ended up, shooting myself in the foot a little later on because, the way Charleston is you're around each other more than you think you're going to be. But yeah,
it's not just running into at a party.
Yes.
You're like vacationing with your ex, and it can be.
It definitely leads to be
tense.
a challenging. Yeah, it's a challenging situation to be in, but
because all it takes, with an ex is like one little comment,
right.
and something bubbles to the surface that's been there. So,
and you'll see that happen where you're like, Jesus, what's the thing? And you're like, I've got zero patience for.
Yeah, you don't understand. It's deep.
So. But I think it's good, viewers will enjoy it. And my only caveat was that, she apologized for everything. When she left Charleston, it was middle fingers in the air and,
she
not the nice
something.
Yeah. And she did. She came back and she was like, I'm eating my words. And I only said those things. I didn't really mean those things. And so she did it right.
Yeah.
This day and age, we're so quick to not even let someone learn from their mistakes, right? If you do, what's the point? If they're contrite and they realize that, it's just so we're very forgiving people and we enjoy that.
Yeah. I don't know how close you were when you weren't in a relationship and, during her time with Matul, but I thought it was interesting in the first episode, she said that she felt like a smaller version of herself in that relationship. Did you guys notice a change in her as well?
Well,
yes. Yeah, it spreads her wings this season for sure.
As soon as I saw him tell her what she could and could not eat, I could tell you anything that you needed to know about that relationship. So I think she was happy to come back.
I hate speaking for her, but I think she'd agree. She moved up to New York while he was pursuing his dreams. So I understand that. Yeah, she took a back seat. I think she probably learned a lot from that experience.
Yeah, so I think she was happy to be back.
Right. And then, this bombshell in the first episode, we find out that the two of you did hook up a while back when you were in Vegas. I talked to her recently and she described the hookup as temporary comfort. How would you describe it?
That's great. I think I've said it's closure that I didn't realize that I needed. So as tough as this is to say about some things, I'm happy that it happened because it really, it was just closure that I was able to be like, I can finally see what I want, for my future and life. And, she, like Shep said it earlier today, we had a long history together. We knew just because we hadn't talked in 4 years, we still dated for 3. So I think she had gotten her world turned upside down, which, finding out like he was cheating on her was terrible. So I think I think temporary comfort's a good word for it. I think it was good for her and it was the closure I needed.
Right. Catherine said that she still loved you. I think you say in the first episode that maybe she wanted to hang out with you afterwards. Was there ever a chance that maybe you wanted to try to get back together? Shep, did you ever think they would get back together?
I didn't. Even though, and I think, we forget it was a pretty combustible relationship. Now, Craig, they were two different people. It was so long ago, but it was volatile, wasn't it?
It was,
especially towards the end. Yeah,
it was the relationship that most people have to have in their 20s. You think you found your person and it doesn't work out, and then after that, you live a lot, and that's what we needed. For the first time in my life, I was with someone that I was like, it was like my first love basically, and I'm like, oh, this is going to work. And then you realize that there's a lot more to a relationship than just,
it's not all fairy tales and cupcakes.
But, I fortunately, when I moved to the Bahamas years ago, that was when I found myself and really got over that relationship. So, it was just by happenstance and,
everything happens the way it's supposed to.
So true. How do you feel Paige handled the situation this season? We see Paige and Naomie meet for the first time in the first episode. They handled it like mature adults, but how do you think throughout the course of the season, in terms of that?
It's a tough situation for anyone to be in, and I really do applaud her for that. I hate that she had to, that I put her in that position, but she handled it great, and this also was was in the summer when we weren't exclusive. So she was doing her own thing. You know, she still had Andrea or whoever. And like it's not tit for tat, but we just had an open understanding about that. And, you know, she didn't expect that she'd have to hang out with this person, but I think she handled it, you know, well. And as the season goes on, you will see how that situation really develops, because there's a lot there. So you'll see this season that I get more combative about it, because, you know, moving back to Charleston's one thing and us welcoming you in, but for other things happen that she's around a lot more as the season goes on.
Yeah. You know, we also see that the friendship between the two of you and Auston kind of has some tension this season as well. I think Shep, you said that Craig doesn't work at maintaining friendships. I mean, obviously you guys are sitting next to each other. It seems like things are okay, but like, can you kind of say like what happened between you guys this season?
Yeah, I think he'd admit that he didn't foster a relationship with me and several other people that you guys don't know, but he felt that he needed to do that, you know, for his own good. But what he didn't realize is that I had changed and I had moved on from who he maybe remembers from the past. And, you know, I was with Taylor now. I was living out on the beach. I was living a relatively calm existence, or am. And so we kind of had to recalibrate our friendship, but it was a lot of fun doing that. And you'll see one episode where we go to Auston's home, like house he grew up in, and we go to Charlotte, just the three of us. And it was so much fun. We laughed and laughed and laughed. Hardest I've ever laughed filming.
Yeah, I definitely isolated myself to get where I am. And it stinks that the friendships were casualties of that, but I just couldn't have all of these friends anymore. First, I just couldn't handle it myself. Like,
poor guy.
No, because like, you know, there wasn't just golf. Like, I didn't know how to just golf, and it not turn into a huge thing. And so I
big night out.
Yeah. So I started to just hang out with myself basically. And what you guys get to see is, you know, those friendships, or me trying to reopen those friendships, or us work past all of that. So it should be some fun.
And it gave Auston and I a chance to gang up on Craig, which is one of our favorite pastimes.
Right, but it seems like things get physical, Craig, between you and Auston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a drunken, silly fight. I don't think anyone had connected on any...
no. None of us have ever swung at each other. I grew up, I wrestled growing up. And if you have someone that knows how to wrestle and someone that doesn't, it's not really a fair fight. So, and then I guess he went in and picked a fight with Shep right after. But I'm excited to find out what that was about, because I could not tell you
no idea
what our wrestling match was about.
Yeah. You know, Auston had a tough summer last summer on Summer House, but it seems like he has been spending time with Olivia. Has he changed at all since he's been in this relationship? And what do you think about the two of them together?
I know their relationship. I think Craig does too. But Olivia lives literally across her parents live across the street from me, and you know, I think Auston tiptoed from his previous relationship, rightly so, into the next one. And it's a little frustrating. It's going to be a little frustrating for viewers, I think, because make up your mind. But you got to understand, that's not who Auston is.
Auston's never made a decision.
He's like trying to buy a flight. He's like, should I leave at 4:00 or 5:30? I'm like,
maybe I just won't go. Yeah. Maybe I just won't go. You definitely have to book his. Like, I've booked his plane tickets before if I wanted him to come somewhere. But he has decision anxiety, and I think you'll get to see that once again this year. But
not a spoiler thing. She's great, and they are currently in a really good spot, I think.
That's great. And does Auston have a hard time coming to terms with the fact that Madison is engaged this season? You know, planning her wedding, and you know, how does that kind of take a toll on him?
I think it confirmed a lot of things for him, meaning our closure. I know that we've already used that word once, and I think it's overused and kind of silly, but I think it was like, okay, good, you know, like that's over. And
he handled it better than I thought he was going to. I mean, there's still some tension and some anger there. I think he's just fully coming to terms with how disastrous their relationship was because he just never came to terms with it.
I mean, we tried. We shook him and we slapped him around, and he just wouldn't.
Yeah, so
listen to us.
I don't know. I'll be interested to watch that too, because I think he was a little surprised that she moved on so quickly, but it was good. It was good for both of them.
Yeah. Were you surprised that Catherine and I said his name wrong. Were you surprised that Catherine broke up with her boyfriend?
Oh, that's a crazy relationship too. So you're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, as much as it pains us to see it, Catherine can be so combustible and so emotional, and
we don't know what I don't know what.
No, we
happened
don't.
yet, though.
But we know her, and we know that she can make it hard on herself, and we hate to see it.
Yeah. Craig, are we going to see you back on Summer House this season?
Probably. I shouldn't, but yes, probably. I don't think I should do surveillance shows anymore, but I did a little better in the new Winter House. But yeah, the thing is, Paige and I are boyfriend, girlfriend, and that's a big part of her life. And so, yeah, I'll be around. Anytime you see Paige, you're going to see, we spend a decent amount of time together. So
Craig and I are talking about maybe getting arrested on Cops, like that's our next career move.
I love it. Craig, you and Paige have been together, almost over a year now. I mean, how is it dealing with your relationship in the public eye? Has that caused any stress on your relationship too?
I mean, fortunately, she's in the business too. So I think that's the only way that we survive. I told her one time, it's like starting a video game on the most advanced setting. If you can beat the game on this setting, it's not going to get any harder. Right. And we definitely started on that advanced setting. So it was tough. The male ego is sensitive too. So, like Summer House last year, it was my fault because we hadn't been exclusive yet, but it's been tough, but it's what was supposed to happen, if that makes sense. Because now we can really enjoy it because Southern Charm, we're official the whole season. So there's not that wishy-washy. We're just boyfriend, girlfriend. So I'm excited to see people actually see our relationship. And once we got through those rocky, summer, times, I think we were both relieved to just be okay, it's me and you now. Definitely.
Is she going to be making the move to Charleston?
Not anytime soon, but I think, when I have a feeling that we would raise our kids in Charleston. Mm-hmm. But she loves New York.
Fictitious hypothetical kid.
She loves New York though. And so I think she'll, we'll always have a place up here. But I don't think I could live in New York City. I would go crazy. I love it up here, but.
Right. So kids and future are on the table of their talking points, right?
Yeah. We've definitely talked about it, and it's a fun thing to talk about.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly magazine.